Hello everybody, welcome back to Modern Meta Matchups, and today we have two decks that pretty much existed in some form since Modern began. I'm going to be playing Jund, featuring some old cards like Tarmogoyf, but also some new cards with Ragavan, Dragon's Rage Channeler, as well as Urza Saga. We have a special guest with us. Justin, what are you going to be playing today?
I'm going to be playing new Affinity that actually plays Affinity cards. The new Modern Horizons set really helped us out with a lot of the cards like Sojourner's Companion, Thought Monitor, all the artifact bridge lands, those indestructible lands are great, and then especially Urza Saga. That card is great.
Yeah, these decks, it's nice to see these decks kind of make their way back into the meta game a little bit. Nice to see Affinity actually coming back, you know, playing those cards for free. It's always nice to see Frogmites and things like that just kind of make their way back into Modern. So I'm glad to see that deck. And I'm interested to see how this Jund deck plays as well. So if you like our content, you can let us know by hitting the like button on this video. You can subscribe by hitting that subscribe button down in the bottom corner. And leave a comment. Let us know what you might want to see in the future or what you thought of this gameplay. And without any further ado, we'll go ahead and hop over to game one.
Get into it.
All right, welcome to the gameplay. Unfortunately, I lost the die roll, so I think that means I get to go first.
No. I'll be going first.
Maybe against a different deck, I could keep this, but I don't think so here.
I think this is going to be a keep for me. My hand game one, it's a one-lander, but honestly it's pretty good. I have a Darksteel Citadel, a Springleaf Drum, 2 Memnites, a Cranial Plating, Galvanic Blast, and then a Thought Monitor. So I'll have 2 mana turn 1 by using the land, the Darksteel Citadel, and the Drum with the Memnite. And I also have some interaction up on my opponent's turn with the Galvanic Blast. Hopefully I can use the Cranial Plating to start getting some damage in, and then the Thought Monitor is going to round it all out and fill my hand back up for the future turns.
Let's try to draw cards that are better than last time.
Not too much better, please.
The hand's worse, but it's also better at the same time. I'm going to have to keep this one, and I will just go ahead and put this card on the bottom. Going into game one here, I have a pretty decent opening hand. Unfortunately, I did have to take a mulligan, though. I'm looking at this hand, and I have 2 Bloodstained Mires, as well as an Urza Saga. So I have a pretty good mix of lands here, and I also have some good threats with this, including a Dragon's Rage Channeler, an Unholy Heat, which can kind of remove pretty much any creature that he might play, as well as a Tarmogoyf. So I'm looking at this hand, it's pretty good. I do have one more card, but it's going to the bottom, and that's a basic Swamp.
All right, so I have the play. I'm going to start out by playing a Darksteel Citadel.
Good one.
I'm going to make it colorless, and I'm going to cast a Springleaf Drum.
Yeah, you got it. Draw drops?
Up next, I'm going to go ahead and cast a Memnite.
You got it.
And I will then cast a second Memnite.
Okay. Or
And
artifact.
that will be my turn.
That's all you got on turn 1?
That's it.
Okay. I fear my turn 1 is going to be pretty lame in comparison. I'm going to go with a Bloodstained Mire. I'll go ahead and immediately sacrifice it and grab an untapped Blood Crypt. I'll go ahead and pay 1 mana and cast good old Darcy, Dragon's Rage Channeler.
That's a good one.
Yeah, not as much as you did. I'd like to try to pass the turn.
All right, well, on your end step, I'm going to use Springleaf Drum to make a red mana.
Oh, I don't like this.
I'm going to Galvanic Blast it.
Yep. 4 damage.
All right. Go to my turn?
Yeah.
All right. I will untap, upkeep, and draw. That's pretty good. I'll play a second Darksteel Citadel.
Yep.
I will make 2 colorless to cast a Cranial Plating.
You got it.
Definitely gonna then pay 1 with the Springleaf Drum to equip it to one of my Memnites.
Yep.
The foil one specifically. And let's see. That makes it a 1, 2, 3,
7-1.
4, 5, 6, 7-1.
Yeah.
I'll go to combat.
Uh-huh.
I'll swing 7 at you.
I take 7. That's a lot.
That's pretty good. After that, I'll pass the turn.
I've already lost half my life. That's not where I wanted to be.
I'm fine with it.
I'll play another Bloodstained Mire.
Sorry.
And I will play another Darcy.
That is a channeler.
After that, I'm going to try to pass the turn.
Sure. I'll go to my untap.
Oh, I get to keep a non-land in play this time.
Yeah. Any effects on upkeep?
Nah.
All right. My draw step. Let's see. I have 6 artifacts, and my deck plays affinity cards.
I see.
So I'm going to start out by picking 1 colorless.
Yep.
And that gives me 7 because I have 6 affinity for artifacts.
Yeah.
I'll cast a Sojourner's Champion.
Yeah.
That creature has summoning sickness, so I'm going to use the Springleaf Drum, tap Canyon to cast a Thought Monitor.
Yeah, you get to draw 2 cards.
Right. I will draw 2 cards. And seeing as I have a cranial plating, I will cast this Memnite, giving me another artifact.
Yep.
I'd like to move to combat.
Yeah.
Okay. I will declare
Those 2?
these 2 Memnites as my attackers.
Okay, so a 10-1 and a 1-1. Before we're going to blocks, I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice my Bloodstained Mire and grab an untapped Stomping Ground. And I will cast an Unholy Heat targeting the big Memnite.
No.
But before it resolves, I get to Surveil 1.
Okay.
Go ahead and put this Inquisition into the graveyard.
Okay.
And deal 2 damage.
That works.
And now, when I go to declare blockers, I have 4 card types in the yard. So I do have Delirium. I'll go ahead and put my 3/3 in front of your 1/1.
Yeah. Damage resolves. I really played into that one, huh?
A little bit.
Okay. We'll go to my second main then, right?
Yep.
I'll use my Darksteel Citadel to equip Cranial Plating to the Thought Monitor.
You got it.
I'll pass after that.
Untap. Draw. Well, unfortunately, I do have to attack with my Dragon's Rage Channeler, as it is a requirement of having Delirium online.
It is.
So I'll just start out by going to combat.
Sure.
I'll attack for 3.
I will not block that.
You sure you don't want to block?
Yeah, I'll take the 3.
Okay. After that, I will play an Urza's Saga as my land for the turn, which will come in with 1 counter on it.
Okay.
And then I will cast a Tarmogoyf.
That's a Tarmogoyf.
Which is also pretty large. What do we got? We got Artifact, Creature, Land, Sorcery, Instant.
Yes, sir.
So it's a 5/6. And then I will cast another Dragon's Rage Channeler.
That's a 3/3 flyer.
Yep. After that, I'm all set. I'll pass the turn.
Okay. You've given me some decisions to think about. I'll go to my turn.
All right.
Draw for turn.
Yep.
I do have to do math now.
I'm hoping that you don't have removal.
Well, I guess I'll start out by playing a tapped Spring Silver Bluff Bridge.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have a 3/3 flyer, which is stopping my flyer from getting in with damage. But next turn you have to attack.
True. Unless I can manage to get rid of cards out of my graveyard.
That's true. I'm not really sure if you have 2 lands in your graveyard now, right?
Yep. I currently have 2 Bloodstained Mires, a Dragon's Rage Channeler, Inquisition of Kozilek, and Unholy Heat.
think what I'm gonna do here is my cranial plating gives plus, let's see, 8? Or is it every other
Yep.
artifact?
Plus 8.
Nice. Ah, jeez. I'm going to equip the cranial plating to the companion here.
Sure.
And go to combat.
Yep.
I will declare the companion as my only.
I don't really want to die. I'm going to go ahead and put Tarmogoyf in front of the companion.
Okay. Move to damage.
Yep. They both die?
They will both die.
Okay.
And we are now in my second main.
Mm-hmm.
I will then equip the cranial plating to the thought monitor again.
Sounds good.
And I'll pass after that.
I'll untap and draw, which will put a counter on the Urza Saga. Although I don't think this is really necessarily going to do anything, let's see what you've got. I'm going to go ahead and Inquisition of Kozlaki.
Okay. I have a Razortide Bridge.
Another land. I also get 2 Surveil triggers.
Yes, sir.
I'll just leave that on top, though.
Okay.
So it looks like this is a game of Darcys and Unholy Heats, because I've had 3 Darcys, and now I'm looking at the top of my deck because of my Darcys, and I see Unholy Heat, and I'm thinking this is probably going to be enough to just get me there before he's able to kind of finish killing me off here. I think I have just enough time to win. I'll go to combat because I have to. Attack for 6 in the air.
I am not going to block any of that.
I will pass the turn.
Okay. I will untap and move to my upkeep.
Yep.
And my draw stat.
Yep.
Well, you know about this land, so I'll just play that out.
Yep.
Comes into play tapped, and you have 2 mana open.
I do.
I don't really think there's anything to deter me from attacking here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just move to combat and declare attackers.
Yep.
I'll swing both.
Okay. Before damage, I will go ahead and cast Unholy Heat, targeting the Thought Monitor.
He had it.
I get 2 Surveils, but I'm going to leave my card on top.
Sure. That'll resolve.
I take 1 damage from the Memnite.
You do. And in my second main, I'm just going to equip the cranial plating.
Okay.
And I'll pass the turn.
I'll untap and draw. There's a Saga. We'll go up to 3.
Well,
I think I can't necessarily afford to make my token here, though. So I'll just... I don't really even need the mana either. I'll float a colorless anyway.
Yeah.
And I'll go ahead and grab Pithing Needle.
Okay.
And this Pithing Needle is going to name Cranial Plating.
Okay. This is getting a little too close for comfort.
And then I'll go to combat as I still have Delirium. I must attack you for 6.
Yeah, I have no effects.
I'll pass the turn.
Okay. I will untap, upkeep, and draw.
Yep.
Oh. It's not the card I wanted to see. I'll go to combat.
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to swing with the Memnite.
Okay, before damage, I'm going to cast another Unholy Heat targeting Memnite.
No.
Surveil. We'll put that in the graveyard. Good.
Yep, that's good. After that, I've just got another bridge.
I see.
I think you've got it.
Looks like it. I'll untap, draw, and attack.
Yeah, you got it. That's lethal.
All right. We'll go into sideboarding, and I'll see you in game 2.
Right. So, you removed my Memnite, and the Pithing Needle on the cranial plating was really devastating. I've just drawn a lot of lands this game. I don't really think there's anything else in the deck that can get me out of the situation or even win me the game. But when I looked at the top card, it was another land. So I think I was ready to go on to the next one.
All right, so going into the sideboarding here, I'm taking out, well, it looks like I'm taking out 6 cards for 5, but what this really means is on the draw, I'm going to be taking out 3 Inquisition of Kozilek's and taking out 1 Ragavan. While when I'm on the play, it's going to be kind of a little bit different. I'm going to bring 1 Inquisition back in and take out a Ragavan for it. It's just because it's a little bit slower on the draw. It gets out all of the things that cost less than 3 very early, and they're just not good late game. I'm also taking out a Nihil Spellbomb because he doesn't care about his graveyard at all. It doesn't really do much. It's a little bit slow in this matchup, so there's not really any point for it here. I'm bringing in some very good cards in this matchup, though. I have a couple of Alpine Moons, which are going to shut down his sagas while still leaving mine active, which is very nice. I also have a couple of Colligan's commands, which can take out whatever the most problematic artifact on the field is, as well as maybe clean up some sort of creature, because a lot of them have 2 toughness or less. As well as an Engineered Explosives, which can maybe clean up a couple of Urza Saga tokens. And because I am a Lurrus deck, I might be able to recur it and never have to worry about the Urza Saga tokens ever again.
Let's hope for my sake that doesn't happen. So for the Affinity deck, I'm going to be taking out a Memnite, a Gingerbrute, and a Vault Scourge. Mostly they're just smaller creatures. They're easily pinged by Renin 6. His deck is pumped full of removal, and I do need to bring in some answers for some of his threats. Primarily Dragon's Rage Channeler. I have a little bit of PTSD after that game 1. So to deal with that, I'm going to be bringing in 2 Prismatic Endings, and I'm also going to bring in an additional tutoring target for the Urza Saga in the form of Tomad's Crypt. Hopefully that'll help against any Dragon Rage Channeler, Delirium effects, and then maybe even run in 6 lands, whatnot. So,
or even shrink the Goyf.
It'll shrink the Goyf too. Yeah, that's big.
So that's it. We'll go ahead and see in game 2.
Yeah.
Right. Well, because I won when I was on the draw, I'm guessing you're going to put me on the play.
No. I need to play. I'm going to take it. And this is a really difficult hand, but I think it's one I'm willing to try, so I'm going to keep.
Mine's almost good, but I don't think it's quite there, so I'm going to try again.
Sounds good. So this game, I don't really like the hand as much as I did the last game, but it's pretty decent. I've got 3 lands, Darksteel Citadel, the Razortide Bridge, and the Glimmer Void. I also have a Welding Jar and an Ornithopter, and 2 Thought Monitors. So hopefully I can use these artifact lands to get some affinity, and eventually build up to those Thought Monitors and refill the hand and be able to start swinging in with flyers.
Let's see if this goes like game 1, where I mulligan and still get there.
Let's not repeat that.
It's not the most exciting hand, but it'll play. I'll go ahead and put this one here on the bottom. Alright, so I'm looking at my hand for game 2 here, and it's kind of similar to the first hand. A little bit different, though. I have 2 Bloodstained Mires again, as well as an Urza Saga, so I have the exact same mana base that I did in game 1. I also have a Dragon's Rage Channeler. This time, to kind of go along with that, I also have a Mishra's Bauble, which is going to be great for my Dragon's Rage Channeler, allowing me to kind of filter through my draws early in this game. And then finally, I have a Thoughtseize, which is going to be great to be able to discard whatever I need to discard out of his hand as early as maybe turn 2, probably. I do want to get this Dragon's Rage Channeler online as early as I can. And because I did mulligan, I had to put a card to the bottom. Similar to last game, I'm putting a basic to the bottom. Instead of a swamp, this time it's a forest, though.
All right, you're good to go. I'm good to go. Let's start it off with a humble start. A Razortide Bridge tapped and pass.
All right. Oh, draw a card. That's pretty interesting. Does that affect my play at all? I don't think so. I'm just going to go ahead and start with a Bloodstained Mire, and second verse, same as the first. Go ahead and grab my untapped Blood Crypt.
Sounds good to me.
Right, I'll go ahead and pay a red for a Darcy again.
Oh, God.
And rather than just passing the turn, I'm going to go ahead and cast a Mishra's Bauble.
Let's not.
And Surveil. And put this forest into the graveyard.
All right.
After that, I'm all set. I'll pass.
Okay.
On your upkeep.
Yes.
I want to see what you're drawing.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm going to draw it too, so let's just show the people. It's a cranial plating. Let's see here. So I'm going to start my turn off with a Dark Steel Citadel.
Yep.
I think I'm going to cast the cranial plating.
Yep.
I'll cast a welding jar.
Yep.
And I will also cast an ornithopter.
Ornithopter, yeah.
After that, I think I am good, so I'll pass the turn.
Upkeep, I get to draw off of Bauble and draw for turn. Okay, that's kind of interesting. I think for now, I'm going to go ahead and start off by paying a black or a Thought Seize, though. I get a Surveil trigger before I see your hand.
Two.
I'm guessing I probably won't want this after the turn's over anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and put Inquisition in the graveyard.
All right. So the Thought Seize is good.
Yep. Let's go ahead and take one of the Thought Monitors.
Yep. You know, I have a second one and a Glimmer Void now.
Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 artifacts. So you can cast it.
I can.
All right. Fortunately, I don't have Delirium right now. I have 2 sorceries, 2 lands, and an artifact. Let's go ahead and see if I can get Delirium with this Urza's Saga. And I'll cast a Pyrite Spellbomb.
Sounds good.
Go ahead and put this enchantment in the graveyard.
Jeez.
We'll go to combat.
Yep.
And attack for 3.
I'm going to take it.
All right. I'm all done after that.
All right, then. I'll go to my turn. Untap, upkeep, and draw.
Yep.
Okay. I have 5 artifacts. Let's get a 6th artifact on the battlefield. Yep. This is what I drew for the turn. Bridge. And I'm going to use a blue because I now have 6 artifacts to pay 1 for Thought Monitor.
You got it. Draw your cards.
Okay, I'll draw 2. That Spellbomb is concerning.
Glad.
Let me think here. I think we just want to get in. So I'm going to use my last land to equip Cranial Plating to the Ornithopter.
Yep.
And move to combat.
Yep. Attack for 7.
Yes, sir. That's 7.
I can't do anything about that. I'm taking 7.
I like that. And after that, I'll pass the turn.
Untap and draw, which will advance the Saga up to 2. These aren't necessarily the draws I was looking for, unfortunately for me. I will play a Wooded Foothills. I'll just grab a basic mountain. I'll go ahead and pay 2 mana to cast a Ragavan for its dash cost. And then I'd like to go to combat.
Yeah.
And I'll attack with both my creatures.
That's 5 damage coming in. You only have 1 mana in your hand. You have 2 cards. I don't think I want you getting another mana. So I'm going to declare blockers right here on Ragavan with my Thought Monitor.
Sure. Go to damage?
I'd like to sacrifice the Welding Jar and regenerate the Thought Monitor.
Okay, sounds good. So Ragavan will die. Thought Monitor gets regenerated, and you take 3 from the Darcy?
Yeah.
Okay, after that, I'm all set. I'll pass the turn.
Okay. I will untap, upkeep, and draw.
Yep.
Let's see here. We'll play another Darksteel Citadel. And I am going to a 1 to cast a Pithing Needle. So with this Pithing Needle, I'm able to name the Pyrite Spellbomb, and he only has 1 mana open. With the Cranial Plating, I'm able to equip it to either of my creatures, and I think I'm pretty guaranteed to swing in for lethal this turn. I really like this play.
Yeah, I don't think there's much I can do about that. If I let it resolve, you name Spellbomb and I lose. If I activate Spellbomb, I can deal 2 damage to kill Ornithopter. You move it over to Thought Monitor. I die. If I kill Thought Monitor, you have exactly enough artifacts, assuming you don't have any in hand, that you can play this turn, and I take exactly 7. So I think you have it, considering I have 2 lands in my hand.
Whew.
So
All right,
go to game 3.
All right then.
Oh man, I thought I was gonna be able to get this, but Pithing Needle. I saw the writing on the wall, and the game was over. I thought my stupid Spellbomb was gonna be able to get me out of this, and then I was gonna be able to get my own Pithing Needle at some point, because I had my Urza Saga, and I was gonna be able to turn off his Cranial Plating, but instead, I die. I lost, and now I finally get to do the thing I've been trying to do all day, and that's go first.
Going first is the best card in Modern right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's that or maybe Luris.
Maybe.
Well, this hand's definitely risky, and I think I gotta be risky in order to win this game. I'm gonna keep.
My hand is very, very slow. I don't think there's any way I can keep this one.
Okay. All right, so going into game 3, I've decided to not mulligan this time. First time for that. And I have a very risky hand. The reason for that is I have 1 land, and it's a Stomping Ground. To go with this, the reason that I'm keeping this, I have a Dragon's Rage Channeler, again, as well as a Mishra's Bauble. So I have 3 looks by turn 2 to hit my second land. I'm hoping it's in the top 3 cards, and I'll be fine here. If not, I also still have a Lightning Bolt that I can cast. The rest of my hand are very good cards, just not castable without more lands. I have a Tarmogoyf, as well as a Wrenn and 6. And finally, I have Kolaghan's Command, which is one of my sideboard cards. I really want it in this matchup, and I hope I can find 3 mana in order to cast it.
All right, I'm going to mulligan to 6 here and hope to see some better cards. At least a better combination of cards.
I don't. No, we want good games.
All right, let's see here.
Is it better than hand 1?
This is much better than hand 1. Actually, this is just a snap keep, I think. We'll put this one to the bottom.
All right.
This hand's another 1-lander. I have a Glimmer Void, but I also have a Memnite, a Springleaf Drum, Welding Jar, a Galvanic Blast, and 2 Thought Monitors. I ended up bottoming one of the Thought Monitors just because I need to create a little bit of a critical mass of artifacts in order to cast the first one. So I need to get a little bit lucky off the top here, but I think the hand overall is solid. We'll see.
Okay, all my hopes and dreams lie on this play. We're going to go ahead and shock in a Stomping Ground.
Okay.
Play Darcy on turn 1 for the 3rd time in a row.
I think I've seen this play before.
And play a Mishra's Bauble.
Yeah.
Getting a Surveil trigger.
Uh-huh.
That's 1 no.
Good sign.
I'll pass, and on your upkeep, I'm going to bauble you.
Sure, and we're all going to know the card.
Ah, Memnite.
So it's a Memnite. All right. I guess I'll start the turn out by casting a Memnite.
Yep.
I will then cast another Memnite.
You have lands? You're just going to flex on me and play everything without
Give
lands.
Give me a second. Okay. I'm then going to cast a Welding Jar.
I see.
And my land per turn will be Glimmer Void.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm going to make 1 mana.
Yep.
Cast a Springleaf Drum. Man, this deck is great.
Would you like to do anything with the other mana that you could potentially make here?
Let's see. I have 4 artifacts. I think... Let's see here. You seemed concerned about hitting lands.
That might be.
I think before you draw, I'm gonna make a red mana and Galvanic Blast your Dragon Rage channel.
Yeah, that happens. Darcy is dead. All right, this is a big moment. He just killed my Dragon's Rage Channeler, which is bad for me, but it's not going to be anywhere near as bad as if I don't draw a land. I got 2 shots at it here. I really hope I can find one.
That'll be my turn.
All right, so I'll untap, and then during my upkeep, I get to draw off the bauble, and then I draw for turn. We did manage to find the land, though. We got a Wooded Foothills, which is very nice here. You have 1 card in your hand.
1 card.
I will sacrifice my Wooded Foothills to grab my all-time favorite, Blood Crypt. And just to make sure that I do hit my lands, I'll go ahead and pay 2 mana for a Wrenn and 6.
Okay, that's fair.
And I will immediately plus my Wrenn to get back the Wooded Foothills.
Plus isn't a ping, so I'm fine with that.
Ping doesn't seem great for me here. I get rid of your Welding Jar, and then Wrenn dies, and then I'm stuck on 2 lands forever.
True.
So I'll pass.
All right. Go to my turn. We'll draw. And I have 4 artifacts. Ugh.
Not quite enough to cast a Thought Monitor.
Not quite. But I do have 2 mana.
Yep.
I'm going to use the Springleaf Drum to make 1 of them. And I'm going to cast a Cranial Plating.
You got a Cranial Plating.
I guess I'll go to combat.
Yep.
I'll swing 1 at your Wrenn and 6.
All right, Wrenn and 6 goes back down to 3.
I'll pass the turn after that.
I'll untap and draw. I'll play a Wooded Foothills that I'm sure you're very surprised I have.
Good draw.
And let's attempt to just minus Wrenn and kill off one of your Ornithopters, or not Ornithopters, but Memnites.
Yeah, they are Memnites. Do I want to regenerate? And I think just having the 1/1 is better than having a 0 mana artifact. So I will regenerate whichever one you ping.
Okay. With that, I think what I want to do is sacrifice my Wooded Foothills to grab a basic mountain. And let's go ahead and cast a good old sideboard card of Kolaghan's Command.
Okay.
I would like to deal 2 damage to a Memnite and destroy the Cranial Plating.
Yeah, that's good.
And then I think I've done enough damage. I'll pass.
Yeah, so much for that turn 1 play.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm not really sure what the card I need is anymore. I'm just gonna start off by going to combat.
Yep.
I'll swing 1 at your Wrenn and 6.
Wrenn and 6 goes to 1.
And I will cast another Memnite.
You got it.
I think that's all I got, so I'll pass the turn.
I'll untap, draw. I'll go ahead and play a Bloodstained Mire. I'll take 3 damage to grab an Overgrown Tomb. I will then go ahead and cast a Tarmogoyf.
Oof.
And Tarmogoyf's best friend, Tarmogoyf. There's 4 card types in the graveyards right now, so they're both 4/5s.
Yeah.
After that, I'll go ahead and plus Wrenn and 6 to get back a Bloodstained Mire, and then I'll pass the turn.
Okay. I'm gonna untap, upkeep, draw.
Yep.
Oy. I guess I'll just cast this card, another Welding Jar.
You got it.
I have 4 artifacts again. Yeehaw. I'm gonna just pass.
All right, I'll untap and draw. Let's go to combat.
Yeah.
I like attacking for 8.
I think I'm just going to take 8 here.
I would then like to deal 1 damage to a Memnite.
Which one? The foil one?
Yeah.
Goodbye, Memnite.
And then I would like to cast an Unholy Heat targeting a Memnite.
Okay, I'll regenerate it.
In response to that,
Oh, come on.
I'm gonna lightning bolt it.
Oh. I'm gonna make
mana?
a red mana in retaliation.
You got it.
Oh god.
And then I'll play land for turn as Ghost Quarter.
That's a Ghost Quarter.
And I don't really need to hit your Glimmer Void, I don't think. I'll just pass.
You sure? I'll draw a card. Pass turn. So the game felt pretty good up until now, but then I just kept looking down, seeing a Glimmer Void, a Springleaf Drum, and 1 card in my hands. I'm not really sure exactly how I got to this point. I've cast a lot of spells, but I guess this is where I ended up.
Untap and draw. And what am I? 1 damage off of lethal here. I minus Ren to deal 1 damage to you. There's only 5 types in the yard.
Mm-hmm.
Deal 10 to you this turn. I'll play a Nurturing Peatland and immediately sacrifice it to draw a card.
Sounds good.
See. I'll attack for 8.
I have no effects.
And then I'll just plus Ren to get back the Nurturing Peatland. I'm all set.
Okay. This is a magical card on top.
It is a magic card. Might not be the one you wanted, though.
It's a land.
Okay.
And I think that's probably just going to be game here. I can't do anything.
I see. I've got 3 lands.
Well, good game.
I've also got Tarmogoyfs. Good game. Well, I'm really glad that I won. I really thought that Affinity was going to take it there.
Yeah, it's a really fast deck. It plays a lot of really powerful spells, but Jun just has a lot of removal.
Yeah, those are definitely some good games. I mean, games 1 and 2 are very close. Game 3 got a little out of hand. The 2-for-1 with the Culligan's Command, I think, pretty much ruined your chances of winning Game 3 there.
Yeah, you had some really powerful sideboard tech coming in.
Oh yeah. And if you want to see any other videos, you can find one by clicking right about there.
And don't forget to subscribe. You can click this button right here.